Hey, I'm Scotty T from Your Comedy Minute. I have a very, very funny young lady. Carolyn Lubner's with me. Carolyn, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Scott. It's a
Hey, look,
privilege.
don't give me that. Don't give me. You're in Montana.
Actually, currently I'm in Casper, Wyoming, but I live in
Okay.
Montana.
All right. Now, hold on. Back her down. I'm dumb as shit. You're in Casper, Wyoming, but you're from Montana.
Yeah.
That's not true. You're not from Montana. Where were you born and raised?
Oh, I I was born in the
See, you
Philippines.
start lying right away. You start lying. We're not going to get off with a good foot if you're going to lie. Where were you born and raised?
I was born in the Philippines. I was raised in
What the
Southern.
hell?
My dad was in the Air Force.
Okay, all right, all right. Yeah, because you were in the Navy.
Yes, I was.
Thank you for your service, young lady.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I mean that. I've had a couple of my buddy Mo 3 times was in the service. Anyway, Philippines. You were born in the Philippines.
And then my mom moved around a lot after the divorce. So I've literally lived in like 8 or 9 different states.
Okay.
Spent my summers in Texas with my mother's side of the family.
Okay.
But right now, my boyfriend and I live in Montana.
Okay.
I did live in Colorado for 20 years with my ex-husband.
Oh my God! No, I don't need all that bullshit. Look. We're trying to do comedy here.
No,
I'm
he's the
teasing
reason
you.
I
I'm
was
just playing
using
with
the
you.
name. You asked about Dusty Rose.
Okay.
When,
No, well, don't get ahead. Don't get
okay,
ahead. They don't even
sorry,
know what we're talking about. Let's let's first start with Carolyn. When did you first start doing comedy?
2.5 years ago.
Okay. And what made you decide? Was there a catalyst? Was there something that said, "Oh, Daddy, I think I'll do comedy"?
My father looked at me while we were watching The Marvelous Miss Maisel and said, "You know
Oh
what?"
yeah, I love that show.
He said, "You're a funny fucker. You're freshly divorced. You should go out there and do comedy."
You're
So
hang
I
on now.
found an open mic night and did
Your
comedy.
father looked at you and said, "You're a funny fucker." That's
Yes, he
great.
did.
No,
As a
and
kid,
and and, and
always
for,
said,
for for those that missed it, the marvelous Mrs. Maisel is a show. What is it on Amazon?
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, my God, I think I've watched every episode, every season. I love it.
My dad watches it for the fashion because it reminds him of watching his mother because she was elegant like that. And
Oh,
he's
really?
Jewish. And
Yeah,
the whole Jewish culture and all that. And he just sits there, and to him, it's like sitting in the living room watching his family as a little kid.
yeah. I love that show. That so many great actors and actresses, or
Oh,
actor, whatever. Um, so you started doing comedy 2.5 years ago,
yep.
and your dad said that to you, and take me from there.
I did my first open mic night here in Casper, and everybody was like,
Okay.
"You're such a natural." They thought I've been doing it for years. And I was like, "Well, I was a stripper for 2.5 years."
Are
So
you,
be
you
on,
sent that, hang on. Again, I hate to keep interrupting, but you sent that to me, and I thought you were kidding, and I'm not proud to admit it. I've known a few strippers in my life. So you actually were a stripper for a while.
we are amazing people. Yeah, I have
You're not
no shame
shitting.
in my
You
game.
are not shitting. I love strippers. Are
We
you
are so
kidding
down
me?
to earth, so
I have
honest,
donated dollar after dollar to dollar to keep the strippers going.
and we love you for it, man. I encourage my boyfriend every time he goes out of town to find the local titty bar and make a donation to help somebody pay their fucking rent. And it's important. And I do. That's not a lie. He went to Texas, and I was like,
Oh
"Don't
my
forget, you've got to go to the titty bar and make your donations." And he's like, "I promise I will." And I'm like, "Do you have enough?" And he's like, "I never thought I would ever be having a conversation with my girlfriend about, am I taking enough money to the strip club?"
yeah, yeah. I took my brother. I took my brother, and he was trying to give him coins. He was trying to,
He's that asshole, huh?
yeah, he tied her to clam with lockjaw. Wow. Golly, Carolyn, I had no idea. We're in for a bumpy ride, aren't we?
Oh, I lived a very interesting, colorful
Okay. Well, I'll tell you
spectrum
what.
of a
Let's
life.
just keep going. Philippines, wherever, and Wyoming, and give me the next little patch, and hit the humor part.
I did a comedy here a couple of times. There's not much here in Casper, but I'm trying to help that change. So is another guy named Shart out here.
Okay.
And then I met this amazing man, and
There's not a lot of anything in Wyoming.
no, well, yeah, we have a lot of guns. We have a lot of guns.
Okay. Was that guns? You have a lot of
Yep,
guns? Okay,
we have a
good,
lot of
good.
guns. I met a man who gave me my first multiple orgasm at the age of
Oh,
46.
Jesus God.
And
Jesus.
then he moved to
Jesus
Montana.
God.
So, of course, I had to follow that
Oh my
to
God.
Montana because you can't give a woman at 46 her first multiple and let her realize, holy shit, that's real, and then move. So, I followed him to Montana and I started doing some comedy in Montana. And
Okay.
now I'm down here with I do mostly 420 shows and open mic nights in Montana.
Okay.
And then my father, I did a show in Arizona. I went to Arizona for a week and
Okay.
I went to Stir Crazy Comedy.
Was
And
hang on a second. Was that different than, in other words, you do shows Wyoming, Montana, and you went to Arizona? Was that crowd different? And how was it
a
different?
whole new world,
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah. That's what I
whole
thought.
new world. It was
Yeah.
so professional. And out here, some of my stuff hits and miss because I've been around. You can't peg me by looking at me and
Oh,
decide what
no,
kind of
no, no.
comedy
We
I
ain't
give.
trying to peg nothing. You just talked about
Because
your multiple orgasms.
no,
I
no,
know
I don't do that. No,
that.
no, 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 I'm not that kind. I'm not, that's not my key.
No, 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 no. I wasn't. Nobody's judging you. Go ahead. Keep going.
uh, but I went to Arizona and my comedy nailed
It
things
killed.
that may kind of miss in Montana because they find it a little offensive.
Really?
The crowd in Arizona just loved it. I had a good solid 5 minutes of pure laughter, and it was like the most
That's great.
amazing
That's great.
adrenaline rush I have ever
Without
had.
any further ado, why don't you do a couple of minutes? Go ahead and do a couple of minutes. Go ahead.
I'll give you what I gave Arizona.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that Daddy, I don't need all that, but go ahead.
My name is Carolyn Lubner. I am bipolar, manic depressive with complex PTSD.
Okay.
Oh, wait. I thought I was in a different group for a minute. Every time I on one of these things, it's normally for therapy. So I got a little confused.
Okay. Yeah. AA for
Forgive
me.
me.
Good AA meetings.
But for a moment, I am starting to realize that maybe this is the right crowd and I might actually be in a room for therapy.
Yeah.
But don't worry, I don't use comedy to work out my therapy. That's not really what I do. That's what my therapist is for.
Okay.
I use comedy to stand up here and to find my voice. But now when I think about it, I'm realizing that's kind of what therapy is for.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to know how I ended up with PTSD, I was in the Navy.
Not
I
really.
am a disabled vet. And that right there should kind of explain it. The whole you break it, you buy it.
Okay. I'm sorry.
It's okay. My favorite part of the military was boot camp. It's boot camp showers. I mean, think about it. I'm 4'10. I'm boob height. I mean, growing up, I got teased constantly, but back then, being a midget was only 4'8, and Pluto was still actually a planet.
Okay.
And now they've apparently raised the height for being a midget to being
You're
4'10.
4 foot 10 inches tall.
I'm 4'10 and 3/4 inches. That
All right. All
3/4 is
right. All right.
important because without it, I'm technically a
Stop
midget.
yelling at me.
Sorry. And if I have enough trouble to deal with, I have a hard time. Now I have to figure out how to deal with the fact that I'm dating a midget fucker.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. What happened to the shower? What happened to the shower in the Navy? I thought there was a whole batch there.
Oh, I'll get back to that.
Yeah, my God, I watched part of your video today.
Being in the
Yeah,
shower, I'm boob height.
I got to be
So
honest, because we conversed a little bit on Facebook, and you asked me, why are you doing this? I was like, because I want to. But my favorite, and I told you before we started the recording, I watched some of your videos today, and you did a bit about some kids stealing your gnome off of your, and I got to ask you, Carolyn, first and foremost, is that true?
okay, that is 100% true. It's a bit
Okay,
we're
that's what I
working
was
on.
hoping. That's what
And
I
if
was
you're willing
hoping.
to, I will try to work on it a little bit more right
No,
here
no,
for
don't
you.
don't work on it. Let's just get the people, because I have some questions. Hopefully,
Okay.
after this, people will go and look at this video. What was the color of the gnome? What's it?
It's a gnome with a red hat and blue
Okay.
shorts, and he's mooning you. He was sitting on our front porch
He's
mooning
he's got his
people.
pants down. He's got his
He's
pants down, and
he's
he's
got
mooning
his
you.
pants down and he's
Okay.
mooning people.
Okay. And some kids came and stole it.
Two teenagers walked up, calmly grabbed my gnome in front of me. I was looking out the window. I'm looking out the window. And they pick up my gnome and walk away. Didn't even respect me enough to fucking run. The little shits walked away. And I had a little PTSD moment
Okay.
where I was like, you know what? I've had enough taken from me. Not today. And
Okay.
I yelled out loud,
Go
not
ahead.
today, not again, and ran out the door.
Keep going. Keep going. I want them to hear all the magic.
As I'm chasing them, this old man yells, "They took it. I saw them." And I was like, I fucking know it. And I'm running and I'm chasing them. And
After
they
your
turn a
after
corner.
your gnome.
I'm fucking getting my gnome. They turn this corner. I'm still fucking hauling ass. And I catch up and I can see him about a block and a half away. And I'm like,
Great
I'm
stuff.
old. So to be scary, I got to catch my breath. So I slow
Right.
down a little bit. I start doing my breathing I've learned in therapy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Catch my breath, regroup, calm down. And about as point I calm down, I'm about half a foot behind him. And I yell, "Give me my fucking gnome back, bitch." Those kids jumped so high in the air and pivoted around. And I proceeded to go off on them like I was back on the streets of West Palm Beach at 14. I
Okay.
was using vulgarity I haven't used. I think I made some up. I know at one
Good.
point
Good.
I remember calling the girl a cum guzzling double cunted gutter slut at one.
Yeah, I have a yeast ridden sperm burbling cum guzzling gutter pig. I have that. Yeah, I
See,
got
we
that. I've had that one for years. A yeast ridden sperm burbling cum guzzling gutter pig.
so you know what I was dealing with at that
A
point.
scab picking tuna queen.
That's
Okay,
and
so you told the girl that. So no,
other
wait, let's
women
just
were,
make sure the kids at home are scoring. That are scoring. It was a boy and a girl that stole it,
yes, it was a boyfriend and a girlfriend
and they
together
wanted
that
your little ass showing gnome. So
they
you
wanted
chased
my
him
ass.
down, and you called her a cum guzzling gutter pig.
Cum guzzling gutter slut.
Okay,
And
okay, keeping score at home. Is go ahead,
I'm swearing a whole bunch of other things I don't even
go
realize.
ahead, make up.
Other
Yeah.
people are coming out to watch, not to interfere. They're watching me go off on these kids. And then when the kid fucking rolled his eyes at me, that's when I was like, you know what? They need love in their life, and I'm gonna fucking give it to them. So
Okay,
I, in a nanosecond, formulated a plan of attack of how I was going to demonstrate tough love. to these teenage fuck faces.
Teenage
So
fuck faces.
as I launch, and I launch with them yelling, "You don't know me, but you're about to." My boyfriend grabs me by the waist. I don't know where he came from. He finally arrived
Okay.
and picked me up in the air and told the kids to leave, and they wouldn't. They stood there, and I'm still screaming and yelling, but he wouldn't set me down. So then I
Okay.
thought, wait a minute. If I calm down, he'll put me down, and
Okay.
then I can commence. So I do my breathing that I learned in therapy. I found my center. I calm down. I'm happy and peaceful. So he put me down. The second my feet hit
Right.
that
Yeah.
ground,
Calm
I
down. Back her
screamed,
down.
"I'm gonna fucking eat your soul, bitch," and launched again.
Well,
This
now, okay. All right. We got to get off this just because I'm starting to get a little scared. Did you get the gnome back?
Yes, I have my gnome back.
You know what? Listen, let's make a pact. Unless you can do it, can you get the gnome? Do you have the gnome that you can get him?
He's in Montana, but I can have.
Oh,
I
okay.
can,
Well, maybe next time. Listen, let's plan on it. If you have a good time, hopefully you're having a good time. I'm having a great
I,
time. You'll come back and you'll show the gnome because I think people would like to see it. You went
I
ape
have
shit crazy over that gnome. Let's keep going. Do you have other gnomes? Do you have a collection of gnomes?
because of that bit. I have friends that are now buying me gnome stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
recognize.
have a gnome T-shirt that says "Give me
Yeah.
my fucking gnome back."
Give me my fucking gnome back.
They made it for me.
That's great. That's great.
In my bits, I do a thing about helicopter parenting and being a butt plug parent, and how have you seen those light up butt plugs? And I
Hold
think
on,
they would
hold
be
on, hold on. I want to be sure. Helicopter parent, light up butt plug.
because it's perfect for night walking and night jogging. So you for safety, it's like a tail light, so everybody knows where you are. And then I go right back into my bit about what kind of mom I was, and the fact that I was very involved and a part of PTO and a den
This
leader
thing,
and all that other
this
stuff.
thing, this may be the craziest thing I've ever done. This may be
Somebody bought me a gnome butt plug.
a gnome butt plug. Now we've hit it. We got
I didn't even know that existed.
we,
It's scary looking.
I gotta tell you, Carolyn, when I put this up, it's gonna be a couple weeks down the road, but I'm gonna put Carolyn Lubner gnome butt plug.
Give me my gnome back,
Yeah,
bitch.
give me my fucking gnome back. Gnome butt plug. Wow.
Yeah, that
Carolyn, I
part
would
of
have never thought that, Jesus, Mary, and all the saints. Well, let me ask because I'm curious. Those clothes behind you, are those all your stripper clothes?
no, that's stage clothes and stuff like that. I got
Oh,
rid of
okay.
all those
I thought
outfits
maybe I
years
thought maybe
ago.
you're not stripping anymore, are you?
No, I quit
Okay.
that long.
Yeah,
I
I'm
only did it
still
for two and a
stripping.
half
Yeah, I'm
years.
still doing it.
I mean, I would still go to the clubs, but
Yeah,
then
me
it kind of
too.
makes it
Me too.
look
I'd
weird.
go.
I
I'm in.
wish you would. They need your support.
They need my support.
These girls bust their ass for 12 hours every
I
night.
listen, I'll give half my money to charity and I'll give the other half to Destiny.
That's good. Don't forget Rain and Bambi need a little
Yeah,
bit
Rain
there.
and Bambi. I forgot about Rain. I'll do it in fourths. I'll break it down.
Well, you're
Well,
supposed to five,
let's
ten
try and
percent
get this
So
thing
one,
back on the rails if we can a little bit. I don't know how much time we have left, but I'm going to try and get this thing back on the rails.
okay.
Do you have a favorite gig that you've done so far? You've been doing comedy for what, would you say 2.5 years?
2.5 years.
Okay. Do you have a favorite gig you've done?
The Arizona gig.
The Arizona gig. Do you
That
have a
was my
least favorite gig you've done?
I did a 420 show recently that just I mean the show
Well,
was
now,
good, but the
so
people
when you
running
say
it,
420 show, for the kids that don't understand what you're talking about, I'm guessing it's a marijuana type of thing.
Yeah, I'm quite sure all the kids know what 420 is, seeing how they're the ones in the audience laughing at my jokes.
Okay. 420 show, and it was your worst one ever. Tell me what happened.
Just that the people who set it up spelled my name wrong on everything.
Okay.
Um, and they were so intoxicated when I showed up, and I show up because I'm
Yeah,
former
yeah, yeah.
military, 30 minutes early to everything, that they couldn't run anything. They couldn't answer any questions. They didn't know where the mic was.
Okay.
They didn't know dick.
Okay.
And it's hard to be confident on stage.
And you got pissed off.
Well, no, I got insecure because I have PTSD. I don't get
Oh,
angry. I
insecure.
blame
Okay.
myself.
See, I'd
I
get
blame
pissed off.
myself. Yeah, see, I used to get pissed off, and now that I've acknowledged trauma in my life, I don't get pissed off anymore. It's all reversed. I get all blamey. I wish I would have
I think
never.
those kids with the gnome would disagree. I think those kids with the gnome, those kids
Okay,
from the gnome,
sometimes I
those
have the
kids from the
ability.
gnome, those kids with the gnome were probably traumatized for life. They'll never steal shit again. That fucking lady.
They don't walk by my house no more.
I'll bet. I'll bet. I'll bet. Golly. Well, now I know you do Facebook. I saw your YouTube channel, Instagram. Do you do TikTok? Do you do any TikTok videos?
No, but I'm starting to think I need to because so many people are.
I don't do that. Don't do
Oh,
No,
thank
no,
you
I'm
for
kidding you.
supporting me in
If
my
you want to
decision.
do it, do it. I'll never do TikTok. They offered me, yeah, I tell this story, but they did. They sent me an email. I don't even belong. I'm not even part of TikTok. And they sent me an email and offered me, and I said, no, I'm not. I'm not. The last thing the world needs is Scotty T.
Dude, I don't know, man. My dad loves your one-liners, your dad
Oh,
jokes.
your dad's.
We sit there to well, we watch them together, so it's not
All
just
right.
him. And we watch your one-liner and laugh. And our favorite one is the my wife told me to look at it from her point of view.
Right.
I looked out the kitchen window. Dude, I hit the floor.
Did you? Yeah, a lot of women don't like that joke though. I
I
did. I
know
did. Did
it's
you see
hard
the
to
one? Did you
understand it
see
when
the
you're
one
looking
from
out the kitchen window.
yesterday? You see
No, what is it?
the one from yesterday was somebody asked me if there's life after sex. It depends on who's doing the autopsy. Yeah, I love dark, silly shit. That's why you and I get along so well. I really do, and it's cost me a lot of uh, friendships and people that like I can't believe you'd say something like that. Do one joke about grandma's vagina, and all of a sudden you just can't
I am
do
a
it.
grandma.
The
And you can
tolerance
make
for
jokes about
grandma's
my
vagina.
vagina.
It looked like a
I'm a
shrimp.
grandmas have vaginas. We need to know that it's okay to talk about our vagina. Thank you for letting us know it's okay to have a grandma vagina. You have removed
No,
the.
no. It was a catcher's mitt.
See, you're out there breaking boundaries, dude.
Grandma was eating ice cream. Stop it. Stop it now. We got to get this thing back on the rails.
Okay.
Do
Sorry.
you have favorite comedians that you like now?
Michelle Wolf.
Michelle Wolf. Yeah. I've seen any other comedians, a lot of, go ahead.
Oh
Nikki
gosh,
Glazer, a lot of women say that because I like Nikki Glazer. I
I
really
do
do.
like Nixie Glazer. If there's a local
No,
comic.
it's not about her looks or anything. She's just funny.
Oh yeah,
She
she
killed
does
it
so
on the
many
Tom Brady
bits.
interview. She killed it on the Tom Brady roast.
She fucking ate him alive. She
Yeah,
did.
she was one of the best.
She was
That's why
trying to
I've
eat
made
him
it
alive.
clear, and I just not to interrupt you, but I've made it real clear. I would love to have nothing but women on the show. If I can get nothing but women, just because it's just me personally. I like the camaraderie between a man and a woman. I just like it.
Yeah,
I think there's
because
something
we can
special
bounce
about
off.
that.
There is, and I agree with that.
Yeah, I
There's
mean,
not too many
look,
other
and you know why? You know why? Because you were a stripper, and you know what I'm talking about. There's
Yeah,
nothing like a man and a woman. Thank you very much. There's $1. You're happy. I give you $1, you're happy.
Exactly. Let me be your
You
fantasy
know
for
what?
5 minutes and then you carry on shipping.
People are going to stop. People are going to say Scotty T's an asshole. Scotty T's he gave money to strippers. Hell yes, I did. I'll
We
tell you this. I'll let
appreciate
you
you.
get back. We're going to do your comedy minute, but this is true. I used to go to West Virginia, and I did promotion for RCA Records. And so I had, pretty much credit card that had no bottom. I could spend it. And we'd go to the strip club and I'd get some ones. And he was a program director. He was going to play ZZ Top. He was going to play one of my records. Sure. So I'd get a stack of ones, 100 ones, whatever it took. And he would grab like 50 of them or 20, and he'd throw them. He'd just throw them, throw them. And the girls come around. That's bird seed. Okay. All right. he, he did it every time. Every time.
And he ain't dumb.
No, he was. That's bird seed, son. And the girl, hey, how are you?
They do, dude.
I'm sorry. Boy, I ran this thing into the rails. Besides, are there any other favorite comedians you want to mention, or you can even tell me comedians you don't like. I don't give a shit at this point.
Well, I'm trying to remember his name and I'm freezing on it. And I'm so ashamed of myself because I think he's fucking hysterical. He's on The Daily Show. And I'm going to sound so
Okay.
racist and I don't care. He's the Asian guy on The Daily Show.
Yeah, I know who you're
One
talking
who's
about. I
so
can't remember.
cold.
Yeah, I don't have cable. I got an outside
Oh,
antenna. I live in
cannot
145th Street,
remember his
Rockland.
name, but he fucking
You love
kills
it.
me.
You love it.
He was in Crazy Rich Asians and
Oh yeah,
so
I love that movie. That was a great movie.
he was in that. He's done a lot of things. I love him on that.
Cool. Cool, cool.
Can't really think of any other ones like Robin Williams. I mean, there's
Yeah.
certain ones that are just you don't even need to say them. There's
My
Sam
favorite my
Kinison.
favorite quote from Robin Williams, and I say it a lot of times when someone brings it up. Robin Williams used to say, laughter is the enema of the soul. And that always stuck with me to this day. I heard that, and it just to me it doesn't get better than that.
Yeah,
Comedy doesn't have color. Comedy doesn't have, comedy's comedy. Funny's funny.
yeah.
And laughter's so important, especially the world we're living in now. Hopefully,
Sam
hopefully you and
Kinison.
I've, given them a half hour of, comedy. My God, man, the gnome story, the Jesus, Mary and all the saints. Has been a lot of fun.
Yes, it has. We do
Well, now
have to
look,
do
we
this
still have
again.
we still have a few minutes left. So, number one, I want to make sure that you cover anything you want to tell the people as far as upcoming gigs, or like I said, it's YouTube, it's Instagram. You don't do TikTok, but I'll put all the links. Upcoming shows you have coming, or anything you want to tell the people, please do it.
I don't really have anything coming up right now. I'm trying to get
Okay.
an open mic night set up here in Casper, Wyoming.
Okay.
So if
Okay.
by some miracle somebody who lives in Casper sees this, help.
Well, you know what? Hey, I'll tell you what I'll do. Instead of Carolyn Lubner gnomes, I'll put Casper, Wyoming in the title on YouTube and all of them. So maybe we can get it going. We have to keep making people laugh. I think it's important.
There's a bullying issue out here right now, and it's so real. I'm 4'10". I got bullied by 4 teenagers in a car because they thought I was a teenager. They didn't
Bullying.
know me and my gnome situation. If they wouldn't have barked at me when they drove by. So of course I followed them to their house and spoke with
Now,
adults.
I want to tell you
So
something. I'm all the way in York, Pennsylvania. I'm scared of you. Well, Carolyn, look, I want to thank you. And listen, we got to make a pact. Put your paw up there. Put your hand up there. Okay. We are going to see one another again, and you're going to get me the gnome.
absolutely.
I want that badly. But
I will show you the
before we
gnome.
go, you know what time it is. It's my favorite part, and everybody gets hung up. But Carolyn Lubner, your comedy minute. Go ahead.
I was a very involved mother with my son. Wasn't like a
Okay.
helicopter parent or butt
Right.
plug parent. Speaking of butt plugs, have you seen the ones that light up. I think they would be amazing for night walking and night jogging, simply for safety. It's like a tail light. That's not sexual. It doesn't have to be unless you want it to be. I'm not here to yuck your yum. No, I was actually like very involved in his den. I was a den leader for 3 years
Okay,
until
Cub
a mom
Scouts,
found
Cub
out
Scouts,
that
Boy Scouts, yeah.
Cub Scouts.
Okay,
And
right.
then a mom found out I used to be a stripper. And then all of a sudden I was immoral and shouldn't be near little boys. I was like, I was a stripper, not a priest. Calm down. But 3 months later, she got busted for stealing from the pack and had charges brought up on her. And all I could think is if I would have left with money, at least I would have earned all mine.
I love that. That's a great bit. I saw that bit earlier. Man, oh man, you are one crazy character, Carolyn.
I am.
I
Could you
love you.
imagine
I,
being
I think
raised
you're
by
great.
me? My son, I asked my son as an adult, what was it like having me as a mom? He's all, Mom, you gave me character that no other kids have. I
Yeah,
understand things nobody else can
yeah.
understand. I was like, I still 5 years later haven't figured out if that's a compliment or not.
No, no, no. It is because that's the way I was raised. My dad was tough as nails, and he was tougher than a $2 steak. But he taught me a lot. My mom was, she was the opposite. But well, look, let me stop the recording. We're gonna see each other with the gnome shortly. But I'm gonna stop the recording. We'll talk a little bit off the air, okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much for being here. I had a great time.
Thanks. Me too, Scott.
All right, hold on.
All right.